Hi, I'm Corey.
And I'm Ben.
And we are student athletes at Phillips Academy. Today, we'd like to present our startup, Ironmind, mental toughness measure. Meet Chase. Chase is an elite level athlete. He plays well during practice, but never during a match. He struggles to control his emotions, he feels nervous before his matches, and he tenses up during the important parts of the game. This is why we have developed Ironmind.
The numbers are clear. Chase is not alone. Based on a survey of over 50 elite tennis and squash players, 85% of them seek to improve their mental toughness. That is why we are here. Let Ironmind measure and improve your mental toughness.
The solution we propose is an app with three main features: a rating system, learning modules, and a journaling/goal setting. For our rating system, we wanted to find a way to objectify mental toughness. A lot of times, people don't know if they're actually improving their mental toughness or not. And that's why, using pre-existing skill-based ratings created by US Squash and US Tennis, we have formulated an algorithm where players can input their scores from a match and gain a mental toughness rating in return. For example, Chase has played against Benjamin Shen. He has lost in the 3 games and they were similarly leveled. As a result, he received a lower mental toughness rating. We believe that if 2 players with similar skill levels play against each other, then the winner would most likely be more mentally tough. As you can see on the 3rd screenshot here, after logging more than 1 match, a player gains access to a mental toughness rating graph. This graph demonstrates their rating over time.
Our second main feature are our learning modules. We have created over 10 modules encompassing all of the most important aspects of the mental game, from focusing on what you can control, to handling external pressures, to playing the best tennis or squash during the most important points. We have it all. As shown above, the modules follow a reading and then multiple choice question structure, loosely based on Duolingo to help users continually learn and improve their mental toughness. In addition, we have journaling. As student athletes ourselves, we find it hard to find time to reflect on our own performance and practices. That's why we've made our journaling feature very easy and convenient for student athletes to use. So they would just input their scores, rate their own mental toughness on a scale from 1 to 10, and use our preset adjectives on the 2nd screenshot to describe how they felt they played. And finally, they'll have a 1 to 2 sentence description at the end where they can talk about what they wish they could have improved or they want to work on next time. And these journals will show up under the journal section on the app. And finally, for the goal setting, players are able to make short-term and long-term goals. The short-term goals are monthly and the long-term goals are 4 to 6 months to just remind them of their aspirations.
Now, with Ironmind, Chase can win consistently. The business model we propose is a freemium plan. As mentioned earlier, we have 3 features. Players will have access to all 3 of these features for absolutely free. But for an additional $2.99, in the near future, we hope to implement a feature where players would be able to contact sports psychologists through our app. Sports psychologists would sponsor us and we would advertise their clinics on our app. Furthermore, our current serviceable attainable market are the local 144 squash and tennis players at Phillips Academy. Our serviceable adjustable market are the 26,500 junior tennis and squash players in the US. Finally, our total addressable market would be the 27 million squash and tennis players in the nation.
What sets our app truly apart is our one-of-a-kind rating system that measures and objectifies one mental toughness. In addition to the goal setting and journaling, this sets us apart from apps like Champions Mind, Stoic, and Headsharp. And finally, our app is the cheapest out of all of them, with the premium version only being $3 per month, with some like Stoic being closer to $10 to $20 per month.
In the near future, in the 2nd quarter of 2025, we want to gain more traction for our MVP. We want to send our app to as many family, peers, tennis and squash players to gain more feedback on our app. In the 3rd quarter of 2025, we want to partner with USTA and US Squash. In the fourth quarter of 2025, as previously mentioned, we want to partner with at least 3 sports psychologists and link them to our app. Finally, by 2026, we hope to partner with tennis and squash associations around the world.
As student athletes ourselves, we know the struggles of managing our time and finding ways to improve our own mental toughness. This is why we've created an easy and convenient way with Iron Mind. I myself have been playing USTA competitive tournaments since I was 10, competing at the biggest tournaments. And as a freshman, I played number 2 singles at Andover.
In squash, I'm currently ranked number 6 in the nation for boys under 17 division. I'm also playing number 1 at Phillips Academy. Iron Mind is an app made by athletes for athletes. We hope to release an app that elevates athletes to overcome mental adversity under the highest pressure. Thank you.
Great work, guys. What have you guys done to validate the algorithm? Or could you tell me a little bit more about the algorithm and how it works in the first place?
I've interviewed one sports psychologist, and she said that it would be a great idea. The only problem with that would be that there are some external factors, like if someone is sick or someone's injured. But I think that should be accounted in your mental toughness, because if 2 people are similarly skilled, rated wise, then the person who pulls out with the win, whether it's close or not, is probably the person who has a better mental game.
And it's the same with squash and tennis. You don't have to change the algorithm or the product that much?
No, not really, because we just did it based on tie breaks, and then how many sets you win in, and also based on their skill-based rating.
And are you guys going to keep it to squash and tennis, or do you want to expand to other sports as well?
Hopefully in the future we can expand it. I think we're looking at sports like badminton or even golf.
Individual sports where it's really just you out there by yourself, and it's all in the mental game is really important.
We just thought for now, especially squash, because it's entering the LA Olympics in 2028, we thought it'd be a great opportunity because it is an expanding market, and a product like ours would be very desirable in the future.
This is very cool. I played squash at Andover in college. Did not play number 1. That's a hard spot. But I think back to those moments where you're talking about, where it's just you on the court, and if you mess something up, it's really easy to just spiral and blame yourself. But that mental toughness comes through sticking it out and keeping going. And I think, have you validated with players that winning and losing is the be-all, end-all definition of mental toughness? Because so much of it is sticking it through, and in your screenshot from the demo, those points are really close, 11-13, that's a tough match. And losing, I don't know if that would satisfy me at the end, to be told I wasn't mentally tough, but it was, we lost on a tie break. I'm curious how players have responded to this black or white definition of mental toughness.
I think that is a fair point that you bring up, and that is something part of us gaining traction for our MVP. But at the same time, I think as athletes ourselves, we know that regardless if we do win or lose, we're gonna either feel good or bad about ourselves. And if we do lose, especially in such a close match, we want to know next time, what could I have done to be better? And even if that represents a lower mental toughness rating, they can always use our learning modules and journaling/goal setting to try to improve that. Because the journey is really all about you face setbacks, but it's also about how you overcome those.
My question is, mental toughness is different on a day-to-day basis. So if, let's say, I'm coming to play squash against you and I had a family emergency and I showed up and I lost the match, I think I'll be more mentally tough in that situation because of the adversity I face and being able to come to the match. How do you measure these external factors? Because, again, as Tamari said, on a game basis, it's not a linear line to measure mental fortitude.
I think the problem with that would be that could be a potential problem for any rating system. So even like rating systems that are verified by like US squash and US tennis, like you could say that you were injured or that maybe something bad to your family happened that day, but at the end of the day you still did lose. And that should be reflected to your rating. But yeah, I think that is something we need to address.